A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a controversial move, the Trump administration has declared that states and cities that sever ties with Israeli companies will be denied federal funding for natural disaster preparedness. This announcement was made public through grant notices released by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, on Friday, outlining that a total of $1.9 billion in federal funding allocated for disaster relief is contingent upon certain terms and conditions. Among these conditions is a stipulation that states and cities must not sever commercial relations specifically with Israeli companies. This funding is crucial for various emergency management needs, including rescue equipment, backup power systems, and salaries for emergency managers. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem emphasized the administration's stance, stating, "DHS will enforce all anti-discrimination laws and policies, including as it relates to the BDS movement, which is expressly grounded in anti-Semitism." However, many view this decision as largely symbolic since no states or cities in the U.S. are currently boycotting Israeli companies, and 34 states have already enacted anti-BDS laws in recent years. Following the announcement, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and FEMA issued a rare joint clarification, dispelling rumors that disaster relief funding could be tied to support for Israel. They affirmed that there is no FEMA requirement tied to Israel in any current NOFO, and that no states have lost funding or had new conditions imposed. The clarification stressed that FEMA grants are governed by existing law and policy, not political litmus tests. Investigative reporter Natalie Winters reported that the DHS guidance has been updated to remove any requirements related to Israel, although it still prohibits recipients from operating programs that benefit illegal immigrants. The section that previously defined discriminatory prohibited boycott as cutting commercial relations with Israeli companies has been removed as well. The initial report indicated that any U.S. state or city participating in or supporting boycotts of Israel would be ineligible for vital disaster preparedness funding from FEMA, impacting at least $1.9 billion in aid critical for search and rescue operations and disaster readiness. As the BDS movement gains traction, particularly after recent conflicts in the region, the administration's policy aims to ensure compliance at the highest level. Notably, New York City is set to receive $92.2 million from the program, the largest allocation among recipients, based on the agency's assessment of relative risk of terrorism. The political implications of this policy are significant, as it intertwines disaster relief funding with foreign policy stances, raising questions about the separation of emergency management from international relations. As the debate continues, the administration's approach will likely face scrutiny from various stakeholders, including civil rights advocates and those concerned about the intersection of domestic policy and international diplomacy. The evolving landscape of U.S. foreign policy and its impact on local governance remains a focal point of discussion as communities navigate the complexities of disaster preparedness funding in light of international relations. This development underscores the ongoing tensions surrounding the BDS movement and its implications for state and local governments. As the administration reinforces its position against boycotts of Israel, it remains to be seen how this will affect future funding allocations and the broader discourse on civil rights and discrimination in the U.S. The implications of tying disaster relief funding to foreign policy decisions could set a precedent that influences future administrations and their approaches to domestic and international relations. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.